Hi, I'm Erin Gordon with Nova Academy, and I am here today with Ariana. She is a Model G20 alumni, and we just recently finished up the summit. Hi, Ariana. How are you today?
I'm good, Erin. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. I appreciate that. So we, of course, just started with your name. So could you tell me, please, where you're from and what country you represented during the summit?
Yes, so I am from Chelsea, Massachusetts, and during the summit, I was representing Australia.
Oh, fantastic. Very good. And what is one fun fact about you?
One fun fact about me is that I like taking pictures of anything, and I also love reading and buying new books.
Oh, excellent. Have you read anything good lately that you could share with the audience?
I have read a book called Where the Crawdads Sing. I think yeah,
Oh,
they recently made it like a motion picture, and I
yeah.
read the book before, and just seeing it, like on TV was really cool.
Oh, absolutely. So I heard it's a pretty impressive book. I haven't read it personally, but I think you always got to ask, was the movie or the book better? What do you think?
I think that personally, I always go with the movie.
Okay.
With the book, sorry, excuse me. With the
Yep.
book, I think I really like seeing how all what I pictured in my head
Yeah.
was kind of interpreted to like the bigger picture, like what everyone is seeing. But I always like the book. I was like picturing and putting things together and kind of playing it a little movie inside my head.
Oh, totally. I get that. Awesome. Well, I'll have to read that next time. What's something you're known for among your friends?
Something I'm known for is being the Spanish dictionary, you could say. During our Spanish class, anytime anyone needs help, they always say, Ariana, what's this? And I'm always eager to help them and kind of show them this is how you do things. But in general, I think my friends would describe me as dependable, resilient, and caring.
Oh, that's wonderful. All good qualities.
Yes.
So now, what made you interested in climate change?
I first became interested in climate change really when I was 11 years old. My parents were involved in this climate organization in Chelsea called Green Roots. And so I was always there in the meetings, listening in. And I didn't really think much of it at first, but it wasn't until I turned 14 that they had a youth program called ECO. And so that's when I think that's where I kind of kicked off my environmental career, you could say. I kind of started learning more about the problems in Chelsea, like infrastructure, gentrification, socioeconomic differences, especially in housing. And I think that really opened my eyes to a whole world and how this all kind of relates to the environment and the climate change crisis.
Oh, interesting. So now, how did you hear about the Model G20 Summit? And was there maybe a specific reason you decided to join?
So I heard about the summit through my college counselor at school. I met up with her previously and I expressed all my passions about the environment and past experiences. And I told her I was interested in politics, law, that type of area, but as well in in the environment. And so she suggested that I focus on like environmental policy. And so a couple of days later, she called me down to her office. She said, "Oh, there's a little flyer about this summit called the MG20 Summit," and she said, "If you're interested, today's like the last day of registration." So right when it was the deadline, I registered, and I think I joined because I saw like the flyers and I looked at the website and it seems like a really interesting opportunity and it really fits in with what I've previously done and what I hope to pursue even more. And I thought it'd be a great way to really have this opportunity where I actually get to do something, even if it's like even through Zoom or it's I think it's such a great way to really kind of expand on all my knowledge that I already have about the environment.
Oh, wonderful. What was your favorite part about the summit?
My favorite part about the summit was I think the breakout rooms at the beginning we could meet with all the other delegates on like outside of like work hours, you could say, where we all just kind of bonded over music and TV shows and we kind of got to know each other a little bit more before the summit because with such a big group of people, I think it's so hard to kind of get to know others from different backgrounds. So I really liked that little experience and bonding between the other delegates.
Excellent. Would you say that the music room was your favorite one, or did you have another one that you joined as well that you liked?
I liked the TV show one.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yeah, TV show, music. I think those were the two that I really liked. And I was, bonding over, oh, did you watch this show and all other things. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Very nice. Was there anything that surprised you about the summit at all?
I think what surprised me was that the amount of youth and teenagers that are genuinely interested in helping the environment. I think some people may say, oh, yeah, help out the environment and do this stuff. But I think in summits like these and experiences like these, you can really see who actually cares. And, it's nice to see that I have other people on like our side of the fight, you could say, especially youth, because we are the next generation. And I think it really depends on us. And not only that, also the fact that they're worldwide students, international students from around the world. And I think it really helped me see all the different backgrounds of everyone as well.
During the summit, were there any maybe skills you felt like you were utilizing most or any that you thought you improved on?
I feel like I improved on my research and application skills. The summit required a lot of research, especially when we were drafting our policies. And personally, I like researching topics, especially those that interest me, like climate change. And so then actually in my school, I take IB biology and IB econ. I think those two were the areas that really helped me in this summit. And people in school are always like, oh, but how's this going to help me, in the real life? And I think those two subjects really helped me in this summit because while drafting our policies, I had to, think of the actual environment, but then the economics of everything and how this would affect Australia and all the other countries as well. So I think those were the ones that I really improved upon and was able to apply on things like this. And I was also able to kind of see which resources were reliable and use a bits of other resources to my advantage. Maybe some resource didn't have what I needed, so I'd search up and I'd have so many tabs open on my laptop, but I think those were the skills that I improved upon.
That sounds excellent. I definitely understand the 100 tab challenge for sure.
Yes.
So great. Okay. Well, it sounds like you had some ideas about climate change well before the summit. Now, did these ideas evolve at all or change after your experience?
Yeah, I think that I was really well, one of my policies that I did was the carbon tax, and I think it's such a controversial topic and some things that sometimes some countries, you know, are questioning whether or not they should impose one. So I did have some background knowledge of previous government policies, but I think that I was able to, through my research, kind of see all the costs and the externalities you could say were that would affect society. So I did have some like ideas, but I think you can have an idea, but it's just kind of acting upon it. And all that research kind of helped me see which ones would work, which ones wouldn't, and kind of had to like tweak some ideas that I had because it could all be in your head, but I think actions speak louder than words.
Excellent. Now, you had mentioned that specific policy on a tax. So,
Mhm.
do you think that that policy maybe would be the number one thing that you'd suggest implementing at this time, or is there maybe something else that you feel would also make sense at like this time and age where we are at with climate change?
I think that the carbon tax is an effective way to kind of limit the carbon that's emitted, but I think it really depends on the country. Like for example, from Australia, they previously imposed one in 2011, and
Mm.
it didn't work because it just caused an increase in prices to so many other markets. So while I do think it's a good idea, I think that it really depends on the external costs to society and how each country manages their own economics and what are their imports, their exports, what things they are good at. But I know some countries are debating on whether or not to impose one, but I think that it's just kind of depends on the whole country because you can't really have, a carbon tax while some other markets are fluctuating. So I think it's all just a big team that the country has to, help in on.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like you have a really strong grasp on a lot of climate change or even sustainability issues just across the world, not just in the United States.
Yeah.
And it also sounds like you were starting to get more involved at the age of 14 in your, climate advocacy. Now, my next question for you is, do you think that you would join other leadership opportunities in the future, or do you even have your sights set on some currently?
Yeah, I think especially after this summit, that really opened my eyes to a broader field of knowledge. I think that I will definitely get involved in more leadership positions. Currently, I'm vice president of the 11th grade student council, and I'm also the chair of the youth commission here in Chelsea. And I do hope to get more involved. And I think it's a great way to learn more about different topics, different areas that will really be beneficial for me.
Very nice. Congratulations on your positions. That's awesome to hear.
Thank you.
Do you have any maybe dream jobs or college goals that you hope to do in the near future?
I'm planning this this will make sense, but I'm planning on majoring in environmental policy. I love how I kind of found a way to connect both of my passions together. That's something that I was struggling a little bit with before when I was younger. I just had this need to, I was like, what am I going to do? And I think getting involved in all these leadership positions, all these opportunities, it really allowed me to see what I'm really passionate for. And I'm glad it's something, like the environment and the climate change, that's something going on right now across the world.
Mm, absolutely. Well, I have one more question for you. If you could give one piece of advice to a future Model G20 student, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to really give it your best shot in the youth summit. I think you're not alone at all. And if you do need any help, there's a lot of eager people who are willing to help you. And I think just keep taking part on these opportunities, especially because, like I mentioned before, we are the next generation and it really is up to us. And I'm glad to see that there are youth and organizations like the MG20 Summit that are really giving the youth a position and a voice in climate change.
That sounds excellent. Well, thank you so much. That's great advice. And Ariana, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you again.
Thank you, Erin.
All right. Well, take care. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.